What up, folks? What's good, family? Welcome to another episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. Make sure you guys continue to follow us on our Facebook page. Also, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and on social media at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. At Barbershop SPOR2 on our Twitter handle. I'm Trey Frazier, and I got my brother Maestro Styles here with me today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we got a special guest today. He's part of the X Squad affiliates, also got his own podcast called The Wait a Minute Show. You can check that out on the waitaminuteshow.com. He's Joloni JB Boddie. Joloni, thank you for coming in for a few minutes, man. What's going on?
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Quick story. So Joloni was our second winner of our Barbershop Sports Talk podcast merchandise. Got the t-shirt, the hat, keychain, the whole nine. So just a quick story here. So after the national championship game, me and Maestro were talking, and he said, oh, who won the joint? And I was like, yo, Joloni won that joint. And then he had a man's that said he had got close to the exact score, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Maestro?
He said that he predicted Kansas 72-68.
Okay. So he would have been closer to winning the stuff, but the problem is that you got to put the score on the IG story, which everyone did, including yourself. I didn't see his score in the IG results in the IG story, so I didn't take into consideration. So when I sent you your stuff and you posted on IG that you got the t-shirt and everything, that same dude put a post and put a comment on the post saying, oh, this looked like his brother right here. I don't know, man. Like he had some kind of, like conflict of interest here. And I'm like, wait, he's trying to say me and Joloni brothers, and Maestro kind of confirmed it. So I just thought that was a bit funny there.
It's the
Shout out
glass.
to my man. Yeah, it's the glass. Nah,
It's the glasses.
When he said it, I was like, yeah, y'all kind of look alike. Nah, shout out Taiwan Beckham. That's my man. Unfortunately, he's a Commanders fan, but
Yeah, unfortunately.
We won't hold that against him.
No doubt. So I'm going to start here, Joloni. So the Wait a Minute Show, you've been doing that for a while now, and I also understand that, and I think one of the interesting things about you and your show compared to some of the other shows on X Squad is that you have a toy drive like around the holidays every year, right? So tell us a little bit more about that.
All right, so cool. So the Wait a Minute Show toy drive, it started probably about 9 years ago at this point. And what it originally had just started out with was I myself would just buy toys. And I have family members who work, out with children, and just being around them, hearing the stories and everything, is just like, what could I do? Well, is there anything that I could help out with? So started out just buying toys and everything, and then I started podcasting. So then when I started podcasting, I said, look, I'm reaching out to different people, not just locally, but outside of the state of Georgia and everything. So let me use this platform to see, if we can expand this thing. And over the years, it's turned into something that people look forward to. It's something people have expectations of, and good pressure that is put on me. I enjoy it, but it gives me, a challenge to outdo, what we did the previous year. So now it's turned into where we used to buy toys, and then we used to just give them to an organization where, after thinking about it, it's just like, well, how can we customize this? So working with the organization, started sponsoring kids. So then that way, we get kids that actually, find out what they actually want. They turn in a list to me, and we do the best that, to our ability to get them what they want. And so far, every year, everybody that we sponsor, we've been able to get them exactly, what they want. And it's funny because sometimes, these are kids that are in not the best of situations. And
Yeah.
I've heard plenty of times, like, their grandmother, because I'll talk with their grandmothers, or I'll talk with the mothers, I'll talk with the fathers from time to time. And I try and stay in the background. I don't like making it me being out there. It's just more of, hey, we got somebody that really want to do something, good. But sometimes you do, run into the parents, and they'll say, I told them not to put this on the list because, that's just way too much. And, I take that as a challenge, because I'm like, for our own kids, we try and do whatever it is we can, to make our kids, a holiday, a memorable one. So why not, do it for, other kids that's out there. So, so far, like, whatever that they put on the list, I've been able to, come through. So
That's
it's
what's up.
just turned into that. And it's crazy because so many people have helped me. So I don't, it's just like this thing evolved, because shouts out to Jeff Fox. Jeff Fox have helped me. For a lot of people, he probably, I don't know if he's gonna be mad at me saying this, but Jeff Fox is the dude, because he helped me get some kids in contact, and they got to meet D Wade, and that was because of Jeff Fox.
That's dope.
So just stuff like that, and just the small stuff. Got a kid a suit, the kid got him a suit, but he only wanted a blazer. And as fellas, if a suit does something different to you when you put it on. People look at you different. And I could tell, like, this kid, he put the suit on, and I'm not saying it didn't give him like confidence or whatever, but it gave him a certain different mood, and he felt a certain different way. So, it's not always, about what's expensive. It's just kind of like what's important. So we just try and do that over and over and over. And then, next goal is trying to expand it out to more than just, the holidays, try and get something going, throughout the year. But it's been going well, and I appreciate everybody that's been helping out.
Respect, man. That's major. That's major. Joloni, I ain't talked to you in a while, man, and I'm trying to remember. You are a Detroit Lions fan, is that right?
That is correct. Detroit Lions.
So I'm, I would love to say so sad to you, man, but in Pittsburgh is in a little better situation than Detroit, but we ain't that far from y'all. And this is only me being objective in the off season. I'm gonna act like I never said it when the regular season starts. Tell me about Detroit, and expectations. Where you at with it? Draft is coming up in a couple of days. Tell me where you at with it.
We're right back where we always are, rebuilding. But I'm not, at least at this point, I'm not surprised, because a couple years ago, I talked about everybody, getting ready. I said, Matthew Stafford's leaving. He's going to get traded or something. And I said, it's the best for both. He tried, it's time to move on. So they get Jared Goff. This is just somebody that's in the, in the middle. And I hate to say a bridge quarterback, but that's what it is. I don't know if they're really looking for their quarterback this year in the draft. To me personally, I thought they should have did it last year with all the quarterbacks that was in there. Justin Fields was sitting there. That was somebody I was interested in for them to grab. But, we may be the victims of that, because he's in the division, and we're going to find out this year. But I will say this, Dan Campbell, when he came in and he was talking about biting knees and everything, I was still not feeling that. But I wasn't feeling that, because I'm just like, that's not what we need. But, he is a coach, though, that I think the players fall in love with. He doesn't hold his tongue. He doesn't put this facade up or anything like that. It's like, what you see is what you get. And even going through those games last year, there were a lot of games that they were in. I mean, they were in it with your Pittsburgh Steelers, to the end. Nobody could kick a field goal. Yeah, nobody could kick a field goal, but there was something to be said with the guys that he was playing with, because we were running a lot of trick plays, we were running plays, risk plays and everything, but they put it all out there. So with this franchise, we're not going to get the big time free agent to come to Detroit. That hasn't happened. We drafted Barry Sanders. We drafted Calvin Johnson. All the other success that we had, that we would drafted players like Herman Moore, Johnny Morton, Brett Perriman, Brashad's,
Stafford,
father.
for that matter.
Yeah, Stafford. All that stuff was drafted. So where that's going to have to come into play is that the organization is going to have to really, really sit back and this thing starts from the top down.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to get these players, and you're going to have to make sure you get your draft picks, right, so that you have that 4 or 5 year window for them to develop, and you got them under your wing, and then you can do something with, a young quarterback. So, we're right. We're right where I thought, we would be right now, rebuilding. So it's really about getting the draft picks right and finding that value somewhere, or that diamond in the rough somewhere in the later rounds, 3rd, 4th, 5th, because we've seen it. You look at other teams. Jonathan Taylor went in the 2nd round. Look what he's doing. And DK Metcalf, 2nd round. I think Justin Jefferson went 2nd round. So it can be done. It's just got to do our due diligence, and then get and have the right nucleus and the right chemistry.
Hey, Maestro, I got to say, man, I'm real proud of you, brother, for remembering that Joloni was a Detroit Lions fan.
I was thinking hard, man. I was thinking hard, man. So here's a caddy question. Me and Trey a lot during the season this year argued about Jamar Chase and the lineman y'all drafted over the draft. Obviously last year's draft. He was there, man. And I'm not here to say. I mean, obviously, I don't think Jamar Chase has that type of a season with Jared Goff, but you feel any way about it?
Oh yeah, I mean, we had a lot of positions that we needed to fill. I just didn't think lineman was the first thing to do in the first round. So if we had a guy Jamar, I would have been excited, because there's something to be said about, I don't think he would have had the season like he had this year, because Joe was his guy. They played in college, and all that stuff. And what's my man's name? Joe Mixon. He had his best year that he had in the league. So, that helped out. And you had a nucleus with T. Higgins and the rest of them boys that was on the offensive side. But there is something to be said, because we've seen what Calvin Johnson was be able to do, because Calvin Johnson had guys like I think Joey Harrington as a quarterback,
Orlovsky,
Orlovsky, John Kitna, and everything. So it's something to be said, about a talent. Still would have liked for it to have been quarterback, but if we had a guy Jamar Chase, I would have been ecstatic, because it's a starting point. It's a starting point at a skill set, and also it's addressing where the league has gone. The league is downfield ball, and these wide receivers coming in, paying dividends year one. This isn't before, where it be like it take 2 or 3 years for a wide receiver to understand everything. These guys are coming in now, and they putting up 14, 15, 1,600 yards in their rookie year. So
it's why these it's really why these wide receivers you're seeing getting big money now. With Devontae Adams getting money, Tyreek Hill getting money. Now you're seeing Deebo Samuel requesting money, or he's electing to get traded from San Francisco, even though I don't think he's going to get traded at the end of the day. But you make a great point about that, because the league has definitely gone towards more of a passing league, even more than it was, say, 10 years ago. And even we were having conversations like that, even then.
Yeah. And it's going to continue, because it's all about scoring. It's all about downfield. Running back, that position has been devalued. It seemed like each year, even though we still have, really good running backs in the league. But I think, wide receiver, and then, on the defensive side, these corners, your hybrid, linebackers, that can rush, also that can play in coverage and everything. That's where that's where the league is going. Back in the day, it was the running back. So you would have that, but it's just as the league has went on, it develops and it changes, inevitably.
Mm-hmm. So quarterback is your main thing this year going into the draft? Your main priority for you?
Not this year.
Okay.
Like last year, yes, but this year,
you believe in Jared Goff?
What's that?
You believe in Jared Goff?
Yeah, I still believe in him. Here's what I know what he is. I think that's the problem with a lot of people and their teams and what quarterback they have. And they're delusional and they want their quarterback to be Tom Brady. Well, guess what? It's only one Tom Brady. It's only one Aaron Rodgers. It's only one Pat Mahomes. There's not a Pat Mahomes sitting at the MARTA station, and just hadn't got an opportunity.
Yeah.
So
right.
I know what we got. I know what he is. Is he going to compete? Yes. Is he the long-term answer? Probably not. But as far as like where we're at right now, we're not a quarterback away from, really making some noise in the league right now.
Exactly.
So
and he's on a big contract too.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta get from, underneath that as well. So you have him stay there. He doesn't have a problem, being a mentor to another quarterback. And at this point, we could wait until next year. You get your piece, you get your wide receiver, you get whatever it is to go with, whatever quarterback that may be coming out next year. Because nobody's expecting us to get to the playoffs anyway this year. It'd be great, but those expectations aren't there.
You brought up a good point about your Lions playing tough games this past season. So my Ravens, and this is on a couple of occasions. I remember 8 years ago when I think it was 2013 when the Ravens came into Detroit on a Monday night. And I remember that night because it was the actual night that I won the fantasy football championship because of Justin Tucker's 60-something yard field goal back then. Mm-hmm. So this past season, it's sort of deja vu again. We're in a dogfight with the Lions. And what do you know? Justin Tucker, he does it again in the same building 8 years later.
Yeah. I mean, they played a lot of teams close this year. I think it was 6 games we lost, by 7 points or less. So it's just like we were in those games. And those, last year is last year, but those are games that you can really, take and move forward with because you're gonna look at it and say our talent level wasn't the same as everybody else, and we were still in it. So Amon St. Brown and some of those other wide receivers, I'm looking for them to, go to another level.
So what do you feel is the priority going into the draft? Defense strictly.
I would agree with that.
Because if you look at our division, we got Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields, and you got Kirk Cousins, who is deceptively, it may not look like it.
I say it all the time.
Yeah, but he got Justin Jefferson though. That's key.
Exactly. And you got and just like you said, you got Justin Jefferson. I got a name for you that a lot of people aren't talking about, but I think I'm going to say it right now that people are going to be talking about. Darnell Mooney for the Bears. Remember that name, wide receiver Darnell Mooney.
I'm familiar with
He gave us little issues. He gave us little issues last year. Mm-hmm.
And I think him linking up with Justin Fields, he's going to be a problem. Come on, because remember, I think I was about to say the writer, but Terry McLaurin.
Mm-hmm.
Same way, just kind of came out of nowhere, and he became, a problem. Darnell Mooney. So getting to the quarterback, getting that pressure. We haven't had anything like that in a while, and we're going to need that if we're going to survive in our division, because you got to be able to get to the quarterback, but also you got to be able to stop the run. They got Dalvin Cook. They got my man out of Iowa State. I forgot his name right now. You got Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. So
AJ Dillon,
that's a problem.
Yeah. So That's what I'm looking at. Like it's gonna have to, at this point, get defensive on the front end. If you can't get a defensive lineman, get another corner to go with Udoka and at least be a little bit of a problem for those wide receivers to try and slow them down. So
And where are y'all in the draft in the first round?
we pick second.
Pick second. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you got the pick of the litter.
Oh,
You got the pick of the
definitely.
litter.
Hey, what you think about I'm getting ready to say his name wrong. I was thinking about Patrick Willis, the former linebacker, but Malik Willis. What do you think if the Lions pick him up?
I think if they trade back to get extra draft picks, because I think they could do that and still get Malik Willis. I don't think everybody is sold on the quarterbacks that high, I should say. But if they get him, I like him. He got a big arm, another mobile, agile, quarterback. 4 years at what? He went to Liberty, right?
Liberty, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 4 years at Liberty. He seems like he's poised and everything. So I would be fine with that, but it just gotta come at the right spot. 2, I wouldn't say that.
Way too high. Yeah, way too high.
Yeah.
You could.
I can understand that. So
because you're gonna get those draft picks to help him.
Yeah.
Add pieces to it so he can do and be effective.
Right.
That's true. Joloni, do you have a favorite basketball team?
Oh yeah, Pistons.
The Pistons. Okay.
Yeah, we sorry right now, but
yeah. I respect the hometown. I mean, look, man, they had a little run at the end where they was knocking off a couple of teams, man. I mean, yeah, you're right. They sorry, but they still chippy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because our coach, he's chippy. So
yeah,
right. And I thought the rookie should have won Rookie of the Year.
Really?
Just throwing that out there. I thought he should have won Rookie of the Year.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Scotty Barnes kind of was under the radar a little bit. He had a good year, but I wasn't expecting Scotty Barnes to win Rookie of the Year.
Here's why I think they got it right with Scotty Barnes, is that he averaged like 15 points, almost 16 points, and he was on an established team already, but he established himself on that team as one of the go-to guys and one of the guys that they depended on. And at the end of the day, part of the reason they got to the playoffs and they are in that situation now with the Philadelphia 76ers is because of Scotty Barnes. And the other two guys, they watching at home. So I would have loved if K could have had won it, but Scotty had a really good year, so I gotta give props.
Yes, I was gonna say Scotty. Yes, I was gonna say Scotty. Just the numbers are there, man. The numbers are there, and the impact on the team is there. I agree with you, Joloni, because that's I don't even think it was nobody else really like. That was who it was, Scotty Barnes for me.
Yeah, it's interesting. He flew under my radar up until maybe the final couple of
weeks
of the season.
If I say, me, I don't really get into basketball too tough to about February, March. So,
Yeah. So, Joloni, last one from me. And first, I want to give a shout out to Miguel Cabrera, who got his 3,000th hit last week for the Detroit Tigers. A guy who I think is a Hall of Fame player, been in the league, seemed like almost forever. I saw Jamel Hill, who's also a Detroit native, shout out to her. She posted something on Twitter in regards to Miggy hitting the 3,000th hit. And she alluded to the Mount Rushmore of Detroit sports heroes. And she included Miguel Cabrera, Isaiah Thomas, Barry Sanders, and I believe she named a hockey player, and I know hockey's big in Detroit, but me and Maestro, we don't do the hockey thing all that tough unless we're talking Capitals or Rangers, because that's where we're from. But I kind of agree with her in a sense, with the exception of I would swap the hockey player out and I'll put Calvin Johnson in that Mount Rushmore of Detroit pro sports athletes. What's your Mount Rushmore of Detroit athletes?
I mean, yeah, definitely. Calvin, I mean, Barry Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Basketball, I'm gonna give you my bias and my unbiased.
I
So
like it.
my unbiased is Isaiah.
Yep.
Um, my bias, a lot of people sleep on my guy Joe Dumars, man. Like
Mm.
That's a
on
good
that
candidate. That's a
on,
good candidate.
on that
Yeah.
team, they don't
Yeah.
do the things that they get done on them championship teams without Joe
Mm-hmm.
Dumars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you.
Uh,
I'm with you there.
He
so
was their scorer. He was their leading
yeah,
scorer. Yeah.
he was score and he was the guy that gave Jordan Fitz. Everybody it's hard, but
Yep.
he at
Yeah.
least gave him some competition. Then had could challenge him on the opposite end and make Jordan play defense. So Joe Dumars, in that spot. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the hockey guy because I know I got the picture in my head. I think he wore
Mm-hmm.
number 19. Um,
Verlander.
no.
Verlander.
For the
I
Red
think.
Wings. For the Red Wings.
Mm.
I'm drawing a blank
Yeah.
right
You
now.
said picture, so that's why I said that.
Oh, I said my bad. I meant
Okay.
hockey.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if I would have Miguel Cabrera in there. But yeah, Barry, Isaiah. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I throw them out. Put
Those
Dumas in there. Put
those
Dumas
two are
in yours.
locks,
Throw
though.
them out.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna put Joe in there,
That's what's up.
and yeah, I'm gonna put Calvin.
Yeah, I like yours better than I like that other one. So
Nah,
so
that's what's up.
I would I like yours better than I like that one, and maybe it's because I don't watch hockey, and I'd accept that. But I like yours better than I like hers. So that is what that is. My last question, Jelani, is, and obviously it's the hot button topic, with the Nets getting swept last night. What's your take on that?
Not su- Not surprised they got eliminated. I am surprised
Yeah,
that they got swept.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and a few things it says, and a few things it says. The first thing is that Kyrie and KD, they still need some help, but they still need some
yeah,
time together as
yeah.
well. Because Kyrie came in in a situation, and Boston was just that good. Boston,
Yeah.
Boston
Boston,
is a good
you gotta
team.
give
I'll
Yeah.
admit. I slept on
Boston was just
Boston.
that.
I didn't think they was that.
Yeah, and when Tatum fouled out at the end, which was a bogus foul
Yeah.
out call
Yeah.
by the
That was
ref,
BS.
Yeah,
um, they still, they finished the job, even though KD and them was coming. But I look at this. This is long term. Ben Simmons. That's why they did the trade.
mm-hmm.
Philadelphia. This is short term. This is a quick turnaround. Let me get a return on investment right
Yeah,
away. I
Mm-hmm.
think
right.
Ben Simmons is long term. When he gets back, hopefully everything can be right with that, because you made the trade. So
Yeah,
the trade is what it is.
yeah,
So I think going forward they'll be good, but there's a lot of competition still in the Eastern
Mm-hmm.
in the
Got
Conference.
some
East
So
young
for sure.
pups in the conference, man.
Yeah,
right, and Ben Simmons don't just put them over the edge. You still got Milwaukee. You got to worry about the Raptors now. Uh,
The
you would
Heat.
think maybe Chicago at some point a little bit later.
Yeah. Miami.
But Miami, yeah, it's a lot of
yeah,
teams that you're gonna have to worry about, which is good. Maybe even Charlotte, because LaMelo and them, they got something there. Maybe the
mm.
coach turns it around,
I
but
think they're a
I'm not.
scorer. I think they're a scorer away. I think they a scorer. They need a scorer, like flat out scorer.
Yeah.
You talking about Charlotte or
Charlotte, yeah,
Brooklyn? Oh yeah,
Charlotte,
yeah.
Charlotte.
So
They need a flat out scorer.
they could be on their way, but Brooklyn, it just shows how hard it is to to win in this league,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
And the East is back, bro. I
East
mean,
is back.
kind of like it
Yeah,
was in the '90s. The East is back.
yeah, because you got like 9 teams. That's the good part when you got something like that. You got 9 teams. So
Yeah.
you're not just sitting there waiting for that one team to get to the NBA Finals.
Yeah. What's unfortunate though, Joloni, is that I root for the Knicks, Maestro roots for the Wizards, and we just happen to be the 2 teams outside of the top 10 in the East. How unfortunate is that?
And quite frankly, neither of our rosters deserve to be in the playoffs.
At all.
I will say this, and I've said this plenty of times on my show, is that basketball, Maestro, you're probably gonna be mad at me on this, but basketball is always better when the New York Knicks are relevant.
Because
Because
That's a fact. That's a fact.
it gets everything flowing, and then you get Spike Lee out there, and he's doing all his stuff, and it's just as far as like the game of basketball. I still hope the Knicks lose. I still hope they lose, but
no,
it is better.
I mean,
that's that hatred from the late 80s, 90s, bro. That's
just media. That's just media. That's just media. Nah, I get you. I do agree with that, but I don't care about the Knicks, and I hope. Well, to be honest, the only reason I talk trash about the Knicks is because Trey is a Knicks fan. I don't feel no way negative
anything
or positive.
Anything I root for, he always got to be against it. So
and in reality, I don't really care. So I just talk. But I agree that New York basketball is necessary. But I mean, I'm not here to say that Brooklyn has overtaken the Knicks, but I'm just saying that they're there.
Exactly. They're there.
That's all I'm gonna say. They're there.
But people in New York don't give a damn about the Nets. No, they don't.
I mean, I'm just saying if a championship comes, that I'm just saying.
I think the Nets can win back-to-back chips, and they could still be the second team.
I don't think Spike Lee gonna change his colors. I just think that Spike Lee is gonna start to look old.
Yeah, he was at the Nets game last night too, with the Dodgers jersey on and all that. I don't know if I appreciate that.
I peeped that out.
I don't know if I appreciate that, but I did have Knick fans on my timeline, exercising their petty for the Nets getting swept. And I've always been a guy that has never had a problem with the Nets, because growing up when the Knicks were good, the Nets weren't necessarily the competition. It was always the Bulls, the Pacers, the Heat. So it was never really a hatred thing for me to the Nets. So when they got KD and Kyrie, I was like, okay, that's what's up. If they could bring a title to the area, that's good for the city. Like, who'll be against that?
A lot of people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I see now.
Yeah,
I know. Hey, Joloni, man, go ahead and plug your show and let everybody know where they can find you at.
Oh man, real easy. TheWaitAMinuteShow.com. You can go to the website. It'll take you to the YouTube channel. Runs every Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do a live show, and just comedy, fun. I don't mind embarrassing myself. My co-host Lopan, he don't mind embarrassing himself as well. But we
shout out to Lopan.
Yeah, he's over there being Lopan. But make sure, you go to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, because we always are having a good time. We love to end things on a positive note as well. And I love, giving positive vibes out to everybody. So we have a really good time.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Hey, thanks a lot for doing this, man. We appreciate your work. We appreciate you supporting us. And, we look forward to having you on in the future.
Cool. I appreciate it. Look forward to coming back.
Lopan, what up, man?
Yeah, put that down, Lopan. Yeah. Wow. But appreciate it, fella.
All right. No doubt, man.
All right.